and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. For today's episode, I want us to talk about this 50-50 trend in relationship. This discussion has been going on online and so many people are giving their 2 cents about it. So I decided, you know what, I need to put my 2 cents also. Now, if you're in a relationship or if you're in a partnership or if you're in a marriage or something, how do you pay the bills? Are you the 50-50 type? Are you the man's money is our money, my money is my money? Or are you just the type that goes with the flow? Whoever makes much money pays for whatever. Like, what is your percentage in relationship? Now, this conversation has been going on online. Some people, especially the single lady, said, why would I need to marry somebody who will tell me, okay, this is rent is due, bring your 50%, or the bills are due, bring your 50%, or let us go 50-50 in everything. Like, why would I want to marry that kind of person? Now, some of the married people are saying that, okay, 50-50 makes sense, but that they would prefer 70-30. Some married people with children said, no, that does not work. Okay, if they are paying 50-50 bills, what about the kids? Are they going to share responsibility 50-50? Are the men going to wake up in the morning to get them ready for school, bring them back, while they are contributing 50% of the bills? Would the man also contribute 50% of taking care of the kids? Now, pregnant women came into the chat and said, no, this is not going to work, because as far as they are concerned, they are the ones bearing all the consequences of the pregnancy, the hormones, everything, and it is not going to work. So this conversation, we sat down on it. I wanted to bring them on the channel, but they were like camera shy. So we had this conversation, and I think one thing I've taken out of that conversation is that different people adopt to different way of spending or way of paying their bills. This conversation went into a different dimension because some of the single people were saying that if they are single and paying their bills, taking care of themselves, and then somebody, a guy or a man is approaching them, proposing marriage to them. Now, one thing that they're going to do is to ask, what do you do? Where do you live? And all those kind of things, because if they are the one proposing marriage, 90% of Nigerian men, 99% of Nigerian men or African men would prefer the woman to move in with them. So already that man should already have an accommodation, or they should have a place that they're going to put a wife. Because if we go by the African culture, a man is marrying a woman and bringing her into his home. So if that is the case, then that man should have a place where he's already paying the bills, a place where he's already comfortable to bring a wife in. Now, that woman is coming in to support, according to the single ladies. They say that they're coming in to support whatever you're already doing. Let's say if you're already paying your rent, paying your bills and everything, and they are coming in to add into kind of your cost of living or your expenses. So they are happy to pick up those extra bills that is going to be on top of what you're already paying. And then maybe most times they are saying that they're going to be happy to save some of those money and then reinvest in that marriage or reinvest in that relationship. Because whether you like it or not, children are going to come into the mix and everything is going to happen at that point. More expenses is going to come in, and then maybe 1 or 2 years later, when 1 or 2 kids come in, they might be looking for a bigger accommodation. Now, some of the ladies are saying that he should be able to, the initial stage of that relationship, the man should be able to take care of those things. They should not be getting married and the next day you're asking me, rent is due, or okay, I've paid rent, bring council tax, or I've paid water bill, bring electricity bill. They said they're not going to do any of those things, because if an African man who wants a submissive wife, who wants to be the head of the family, who wants to be the king, he should be ready to provide, and the wife should be able to support what he's providing. Now, what happens to her money depends on the kind of wife that you married. If you marry a wife that, okay, her money is her money and she's buying Gucci every day while you're paying the bills, you chose the wife. If you've chosen a wife that you're paying all the bills and she's using her money to party every weekend, you chose that woman. So whether you like it or not, as a man, if you're choosing a wife and you chose, whatever you're getting is the choice that you have made. This is the argument from the single ladies. Now, for the married ones who are married and who are pregnant. Now, the lady said, listen, that 50-50 is not going to work, because as far as she's concerned, that she's the one carrying the baby. She is the one, all the hormones are raging in her. She is the one having all the ache. She's the one that is going to go to that hospital, push out that child. She's the one that is going to breastfeed that child, wake up every night to change diapers, and make sure that she nurtures that child until, they are of schooling age. Now, if from the beginning they were already going 50-50, then that might be an issue. Now, let me even tell you about the story. A lady, we used to work together. So she told us about her pregnancy situation. She was a contractor and she got married. They were happy to pay 50-50 bills. This is diaspora, so you cannot just leave the man to pay most of the bills. But she said she was happy to go 50-50 with her husband because of what she was making. Now, she said they planned the pregnancy, and when she got pregnant, the plan was, this kind of saved some money. But the plan was she was going to work until she was about 7 months, then she would take a break, and then because she's a contractor, she's not going to be paid when she is off for maternity leave or anything like that. So the plan was to take after 7 months, she would take that time off and then come back to work after 6 months of having that child. And then she's going to bring her mother to help her with the baby. Now, this was a good plan. Everything was okay. And then when she got pregnant, a couple of months after the pregnancy, she literally was bedridden. She went to the hospital. She was sick, having morning sickness. So she felt that, okay, some people were telling her, it's normal. This is morning sickness. Some people, pregnancy affects them more than other people. So when she finally went to scan, they did the scan and the doctor told her, if you actually want this baby, you will have to be bedridden. Basically, the only time you get out of your bed is maybe you're going to the toilet, or maybe you're going to take a shower. Like, you have to stay lying down. If you want this child, you have to be lying down. You don't have to stress it. Even cooking, you cannot cook. You have to, don't even go to the kitchen to get your food. You have to bring a microwave in your room, where, like, literally she could not do anything. From, I think she was 3 months when she did the scan. From that 3 months to until when she gave birth, she did not move out of her room, guys. Not even going to church, not to talk of going to work. So the husband was the one taking care of the bills. And at that point, they had to now dip into the monies that they've saved for rainy days, or their savings. They had to dip into their savings to be able to cover some of those bills. She said 3 weeks after giving birth, she has to go back to work because they were already dipping into their credit card. She said after that experience that she would not advise anybody to go 50-50 from the beginning of marriage. I mean, when you get into marriage and then you are earning more than one person, is earning more than the other, you can always discuss, renegotiate those kind of things. But don't from the beginning get into a marriage or a relationship thinking it is going to be 50-50. You bring the rent, you're going to split it into two, the bill, you're going to split it into, that is going to cause a whole lot of issues. She said if not for the fact that she has had savings, if not for the fact that they have saved, that it would have been a disaster. That even at that, they had problems because money issue. The husband was always grumpy, and because he's the one now bearing responsibility of everything. Her mom had to come earlier than planned, so there was so many responsibility on him, and he was not even taking it. He was not even happy about it. She said another friend of hers who, not just, she did not have that issue, but she said after she gave birth, she stayed at least 1 year at home before getting a job. She said the husband, because he was already the one paying the lion's share of the bills, they did not have any. He was not grumpy about it because he was already doing that even before then. So she said the advice is, don't think about 50-50. Just think about, okay, scenarios that things can happen, things can go wrong. You can't lose your job. And if you're getting married to somebody thinking, okay, it's going to be 50-50, what happens if that person loses their job, or if you lose your job? What happens then? I just think that relationships are different. People marry up, some people marry down, some people marry for love, some people marry for security, some people marry for status, the Mrs. title. Now, everybody have the reason, one reason or the other, why they get married or why they stay in a relationship or in a partnership. Now, if your idea of marriage is to be like, okay, I am married, then you can accept 50-50 depending on who you're getting married to, and then not frown at that because you're helping your husband. But one thing I've realized is that African men, they marry down. They marry down, especially the ones with money. They believe in taking care of women. They believe in the one that they believe they are their provider. I mean, from childhood, they've told them that you're the man, you're the provider, the woman, you're supposed to take care of the home. So if that role is reversed, or if you're now saying, okay, 50-50, let's do 50, that man has to be understanding. If you're marrying anybody above 40, that is not going to work, because those ones are set. They have their minds, they are set already. Their gender role is ingrained in them. They don't even want to hear what other generation have to say about it. And most times they marry people from other generation. So if you're not getting married to somebody above 45, let's say above 45, and you're thinking let's do 50-50, that person is going to agree with you. They're going to do 50-50, but the reality is they're going to look for another person that they're going to be taking care of, because it is a thing of pride for them to think, okay, I am providing for somebody, I am taking care of somebody. So does 50-50 work? I don't know. I just think everybody should do what suits them. You know why you're getting married to that person. You know why you said yes to that person. You know why you are in that relationship. And if the reason why you're in that relationship align with whatever percentage that you're willing to give, then that is fine. But my sister, from the beginning, don't agree 50-50, because you don't know. If you're going to say 50-50, okay, let's go 50-50, and then you're in that situation whereby you get pregnant. Hey, there's this story. This lady, she was dating this guy. In fact, I was witness to this story. She was dating this guy. She was working, the guy was working, and they had, they were earning good money. So they decided to move in together. They were not married. They decided to move in together to be able to save money. And the agreement was that if they come together, they will be able to save money. So from the beginning, from the get-go, it was 50-50 kind of situation. So they move in together, the bills of 50-50 and everything. Now she fell pregnant during the whole course of that relationship, and during her 7th month was when she had an emergency cesarean. I was at that hospital. So we are sitting at the hospital. Another friend of ours, who she already promised some money, came in and was like, sorry, but this money that you already promised me, can you give it to me? She gave me her card to go to the ATM machine and get some money. I went to get some money. When I came back, I gave the boyfriend was already sitting down there. Now I gave the lady the money and I gave her her card. Now this guy shamelessly said, so you're sharing money, the bills are due. I could not believe what I was hearing. This lady just had C-section. We're sitting down, like not even 3 hours ago. We are just sitting down there, and this guy was already telling her that the bills were due. And this is because the agreement already from the beginning, from the get-go, was that it is going to be 50-50. Now, he does not care whether she just gave birth to his child. She carried this. He was so nonchalant and shameless about it. He was not even trying to hide it. I think that made me, from that experience, I told myself that there is no way I am going to be don't propose to me if you're not already paying your bills. If you're living in a place and you're paying your bills, and then if I want to help you, then that's fine. But for the beginning, yes, we're going to talk about finances, how we're going to share our finances. If I see that you're a reasonable person and you are, but if you're not, if you're going to say it is 50-50, then that is not going to work, because you're already paying your bills 100%. I am paying my bills 100%. Now I am sitting down on my own and you want to come and marry me. You're not going to come and tell me, okay, my rent is now 50-50, oh, bring money. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. We're going to have a conversation about how we're going to pay the bills. Yes, how much are you paying? You're comfortably paying, let's say all the bills you're already paying is £500. That is not just a figure, £500. And then I'm coming in, because I'm coming in, water bill is going to increase, light bill is going to increase, feeding is going to increase, and maybe the addition on top of that is maybe 200-300. Now, I am very happy to pay that 200-300. You continue paying what you're paying. You have to continue paying what you're paying. Then I'm happy to support, unless I am making more money. If I am making more money, then obviously I will not be moving in with you. No, that's not going to happen. So if you're moving in with me, how much are you already paying where you're paying? You have to bring it, because that is your threshold. Then we have to talk about how we're going to save this money. Let's say the extras on top of these things, we're going to keep it on a saving, so that in case of anything happens. But let's say we're coming in together, and the idea is, okay, I was paying 500, you're paying 500, we come together, since it's now 1,000, then we have to pay 250. So where does that other 250 go? You're now having extra 250 to do what with? No, that extra 250, we have to save it. We have to put it in a savings account, just in case of when we have children, in case of emergency. It's not going to be in the case of, okay, just because you were paying, we are now doing 50-50, and then that other 50% is just going to go for you to use. No, that 50% we're going to save it. And if we're not saving that 50%, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I think different strokes for different folks. Some people are very happy to pay 100%. Some people are happy to go 70-30. Some people are happy to just provide whatever they want to provide. I think one of the dangers of 50% is that once somebody already say, okay, what I'm providing every month is, let's say, 500, and then maybe the next month, let's say cost of living now has gone up, and then you're telling that person, no, you have to now provide 700, it is going to cause friction, because some people are already comfortable, just, no. Don't marry somebody's daughter and you're telling that person 50-50. If they choose to go 50-50 with you. If they suggested to go 50-50 with you, then be happy that that person made that suggestion. Don't come and tell somebody's daughter that you're marrying into your house that you guys are going to go 50-50. Omo, this is why marriages are breaking left, right, center. Okay? So before you go 50-50 in that marriage, in that relationship, make sure you're putting everything into consideration. Make sure you're putting your emotion into your mental state into consideration. What do I know? I don't know. I just think that before you get into a relationship, before you get into a marriage, it is very important to talk about finances. And the reason why you should talk about finances is because to avoid resentment, because one person is going to resent the other. And if you guys are on the same page, yes, when you get into that marriage or when you get into that relationship, things are going to change. I mean, you are going to kind of come together to make adjustments, but the initial agreement is very important. If you're going to get married to somebody that has the mentality of 50-50 and you're not 50-50, or more, abort mission. If you're getting married to somebody who believes that your money is our money, my money is, my money, and you have this mentality of 50-50, abort mission. It is not going to work, because at the end of the day, just because that person has that mindset, it's going to take a very long time to kind of change their mindset. Or even if they decide to change, they're going to harbor some kind of resentment. I know it is. We talk about, people having problems in relationship, having problems in marriages. It is because of 90% is finances. I am not even going to lie. 90% is finances, because we have gotten to a place whereby cost of living is very high. So regardless of how much you love somebody, regardless of how much you are compatible with somebody, if your finances, the way you see money or the way you see investment does not align, it is going to be very difficult, because you're going to be going up and that person is going to be going down. It will take the grace of God. And if you now have this mindset, oh, your money is your money, my money is my money, what happens to growth in that marriage? What happens to, we together, we've done this together, we've built this together. It is going to, I've seen a lot of people who, the man is doing well, the woman is doing well, but because they have different investment ideas, maybe the man believes that he should be investing in Nigeria, and the woman believes that she should be investing wherever she's investing, or maybe she wants to invest in her father's house because the man thinks, okay, he's in Nigeria. So when that does not align, you're going to see 10-15 years and they're just going to be where they were 15 years ago, because there's nothing joined together. And it's not like they're not making money. They are making money, but you cannot see what they've used that money for. So I have learned, finances is very important. Sit down, talk about it. 50-50, 20-80, 70-30. Your money is our money, my money is my money. I don't know. What do you think? What would you prefer? So let me know in the comment section, and thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.